Hello and welcome to episode 63 of
The Eldritch Podblast.
I am Margaret.
I am Jack.
And hello.
Hello.
How are we? How are we doing, y'all?
How we doing, y'all?
How we doing, y'all? How we doing this fun Monday?
Monday. It's Monday today.
It's Monday today.
For you.
For you.
Certainly not Sunday for us.
No.
Wouldn't dream of it.
No way.
This is the earliest we've recorded an episode before it goes out. So this is like we're doing it a week and a bit in advance.
Oh my god, I thought you were saying this is I thought you were like this is like the latest we were doing it as if this is tomorrow's episode.
No.
Yeah. We're
early birds today,
this is
baby.
the third consecutive day of filming.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you need. That's all you need to know.
But we got a week off after this.
We got a week off and I'm very, very excited.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
When we're in the watch parties, you're gonna have a refreshed, relaxed Margaret and Jack.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe you might have one of us because one of us is too relaxed. Who knows?
Who knows, baby?
So this is like a week and a bit before you're seeing it. We're recording it.
Yeah, which again for us that's very early for us to be recording.
The iPad died and wouldn't charge.
Oh yeah, I have the laptop today.
Margaret's got the laptop.
I've got the laptop.
I've got the.
He's the scribe.
I'm scribe. I'm the scribes wizard.
He's the scribes. That's it.
I'm the scribes wizard.
Scribes wizard. I got the laptop. I got the power.
I got the power.
I got the power. I was gonna make a comment about my hair, but last time I wore my hair like this, I was like, "Don't talk about my hair," and you were also nice about it.
Yeah, and everyone talked about it anyway.
Yeah, and you were like incredibly nice about it. So thank you so much. I shan't shun my messy hair when it's like this. Just
rocking it.
Yeah, just rocking it.
Rocking
it. I've just got a lot of hair.
It's living its best life.
Who knows? I might get a
You're
haircut in my
living your
week
best
off.
life.
You
Oh
never
my
know.
goodness
Who knows?
gracious
Who
me.
knows? Watch me absolutely never get a haircut again in my life.
Get a haircut
Yeah, watch me
in your week
absolutely
off.
not get a haircut.
You don't want to go and sit in the.
I don't want to do that.
You don't want to go and sit in the chair for 4
I don't want to do
hours.
that. No. You know what? It's only 4 hours when I'm getting like the dye and stuff. But just the haircut's not too bad. I really like my hairdresser as well. She's a nice lady.
She lives. I nearly swore, but I'll put it down just in case.
No, I think you got away with it. I think you got away with it.
I'll put it down just in case.
But yeah, how are you doing? What have you been up to? I feel like I've asked you this 3 consecutive days in a row. So it feels like I'm bothering you at this point, but I'm aware that it's been days for you.
Very good.
Oh, good.
That's good to hear.
You spoke to some lawyers.
You spoke to some lawyers about
what?
About this podcast.
About the missing blood. You don't have to do that.
Well, entity consume.
Oh my god, that's it. That's the final. That's you crossed the line.
No, I haven't crossed the line.
No, you crossed the line.
You crossed the line.
Yeah, you gave us your blood willingly, remember?
Yeah, this was all consensual. When you got yourself in the Discord, you signed up to an agreement.
Exactly. I thought you knew that.
I don't care how small the text was.
Yeah, no, I don't care about libel. That's tell your lawyers they don't have a case.
Tell your lawyers to back off.
Tell your lawyers we'll send the entity after them as well.
Consume.
Yeah, we would normally have a campaign update today. Mondays are the campaign updates, but as you know, we finished. By the time you see this, we'll have finished our campaign completely.
Yeah,
we have had the final actual story session, and then we will have had the wrap up too. So it'll be done. I'm speaking in the future because it hasn't happened for us yet. But
but by the time you see this, it will have.
Yeah, it will have been finished.
Story's concluded, but we're just wrapping up what everyone wants to do in their last session and their last time we play these characters for now.
Yeah, so
we put up a poll on the Discord and on
YouTube community posts.
And it was overwhelming, yes.
Overwhelmingly,
People
yes.
are happy to just have another episode.
Yeah. It won't be in lieu of. It will just be like an extra episode that we film and put out.
Yeah, we'll just have like maybe an hour and a half long video of just talking about the last story tie-up of the campaign and then the wrap-up session as well.
Yeah.
All in one, because I think even if we tried to talk about the last session...
It will just be so long.
It'll be like 2.5 hours long.
Yeah.
And that's okay for you.
That's fine for you.
I got a load of work to finish off so I can have my week off. So
we got a lot of stuff to do. A lot of boxes to take.
Push.
So yeah, and I think, to be honest, I think it would be nice to be able to talk about it and not feel like I have to like rush what I'm saying and feel like, have an appropriate place for it. Like, because it's a huge deal for us.
When we're watching, like when we're recording the podcast, we're always watching the clock to make sure we aren't going, because, some people don't want to watch 2.5 hours.
Yeah,
I know some of you
understandably.
do.
I know a lot of you do, and I appreciate
And,
that.
for us, if we tried to just record like 2.5 hour podcasts,
Yeah.
I think we found our sweet spot, and it's between about an hour and 3/4 and 2 hours.
Yes.
In there is like our perfect sweet spot.
That's
for
the
the
perfect
dog,
time for us.
us,
Indeed.
for the audience. So we were like, instead of just trying to rush through it and tell you
Yeah,
everything,
yeah.
let's just put all of it in one, and we can probably do an hour and a half.
Yeah, exactly.
Of
And then
that.
just actually properly talk about
And
it.
then just do a normal full podcast
Yeah.
and not have to trim bits out.
Exactly, which I think would be ideal, and for the people who actually really want to hear it, because I know a lot of you do.
Yeah.
I hope it will be nice for you to be able to just have an extra episode that you can dip in and out of whenever you want, as opposed to having to rush through and get to topic.
Yeah.
So
you get an extra video.
You get an extra video.
So just
So why?
cool your jets.
So tell your lawyers to back off,
wind
please.
your neck in and cool your jets. You get the
Please.
extra video.
Tell your lawyers.
You might have to wait a little bit, but it'll be out this week.
Yes, yeah, it will be out. Yeah, at some point.
Probably this week.
Probably, maybe this week, maybe not. Who knows?
Who knows?
I don't know.
I don't.
I have no
You don't.
idea. I don't know what
No
this
one
week
knows.
means anymore.
No one will ever know.
No one will know. No one will know. So that's it. There's no campaign update, but there will be.
Yeah, there
will
isn't,
be.
because you're going to get a juicer of
Yeah,
campaign
and
update
then-
next time.
To be honest, that's it really then.
For
Because
now.
there's no campaigns.
Yeah.
We're taking a solid month off actually playing D&D.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be some one-shots ran. And then in the new year, we'll start your new campaign.
Yeah, and we're going to do an online one. And I think I'm going to... we can talk about those characters and stuff in the meantime.
Yeah,
as well.
I think so. And as we always do, we'll work it out as we go along, and we'll see what the optimal way to do it all is,
Yeah.
and see what you actually want to hear. So, would you like to continue to hear about our one-shot stuff that we do?
And if you say no, server ban.
Entity.
YouTube server banned.
Yeah,
I'll get in contact with YouTube and get your account ban.
yeah, that's it. We know people. We know higher ups.
Me and YouTube are like that,
Yeah.
Like that.
YouTube, YouTube really cares for the small guy, definitely.
They really care about our small channel
Totally.
about D&D.
Yeah, totally. So yes, let us know what you would like to see. Would you like to hear about that stuff? And shall we just get into the homebrew challenge?
Shall we roll a new homebrew
Shall
challenge?
we roll a new homebrew
Let's
challenge?
roll a new
What do you
homebrew
think?
challenge.
So today, as you've just heard me say, we're going to be rolling a new homebrew challenge.
It's going to be the last of the corrupted. And
Oh
then
my
we're gonna
God.
have to roll a new. We're going to have to roll a new. We'll put up a vote up and see what everyone wants next.
Yeah.
I think everyone quite liked
Faye.
Faye.
Yeah, so I think Faye's actually probably going to be our next theme. But yeah,
Yeah.
this is the last one in the corrupted. I completely forgot that this was the last one.
That went so fast.
That went so incredibly fast
went
for
so
us.
fast.
Yes. Oh my goodness gracious me.
Unbelievable.
So, shall we just do it?
Yeah.
I can't remember who needs to roll.
Me.
Is it you who needs to
Me.
roll?
Because I'm cool.
Yeah. Right. Understood. Say no.
Right.
Say no more.
Am
So,
I cool? Comment down below if I'm cool.
As always, I will put up the.
All answers that aren't yes are deleted.
I will put up the picture on the screen so you can see what we have left to roll. We're doing it so we're crossing out all the things we've already rolled, so
Yeah.
you can see on the screen which ones we've already done and we haven't. So what are you
Man,
excited
makes
for?
me feel like I'm back in school writing these chapters down.
What are we excited for? What do we want?
Show me.
So
show me.
all of mine have already been done. I would kind of like a spell or a feat, maybe.
Yeah, spell, feat.
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
like potentially a spell.
Yeah.
Monster, definitely.
Yeah.
I think a monster's so cool.
I think a monster's really cool as well. And a
monster's really
corrupted
cool.
monster too.
And then next round, we're going to be getting simple weapon, simple ranged weapon, ring, and world primer back in rotation.
So it's all. Are we not doing it so we basically do all of them and then we go through? That was the impression I was under, but I could be
I thought
completely
because in the moon we did those four.
Yes,
and then in corrupted
yeah.
we did these three.
Yeah.
So next round, these three that we do for corrupted are off the
Yeah.
table, but all the ones from the first challenge are back in.
See, I think maybe we should cycle through all of them, like just so they all get their time in the spot. What do you think? Would you
Yeah,
like
you
us
let
to
us know.
like exhaust the whole list?
Do you want to
Or shall
exhaust
we
the whole list?
bring some things back into rotation?
You let us know.
Let us know.
You let us know. Now kiss the dice. Kiss
Mwah. Kiss it. I didn't see them kiss it. If you're in a watch party, you
If
better
I'm not
be.
seeing one.
I'm not seeing one was. I'm server banning all of you.
Server band. Okay, here we go.
All right, yeah, go on, roll it. Go on,
3.
roll it again.
18.
18. It's It's a monster!
It's a monster!
It's a monster!
For all of you aspiring dungeon masters there who've always wanted to homebrew some monsters, here's your chance.
That's
Here's your
awesome.
chance. You can see how everybody else homebrews monsters in
Yeah,
the homebrew
yeah.
challenge forum in the Discord, and you can maybe take some notes and you can try your hand. I want a corrupted monster.
A corrupted monster, baby. That is so cool. And again,
Something that, you know, how sick would it be if it was like a fallen angel or something like that.
yeah, totally.
Like a stat block
Totally.
for a fallen angel.
Yeah, I love that.
Or a demon corrupted by the light.
Totally. Oh my god, I love that. And again, as you'll have seen if you've like seen any of the posts and the submissions, all of them are so different.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to see what people do, because it doesn't necessarily have to even be a monster stat block. It could just be the description of a monster. It could be like the lore of a monster.
Yeah. It doesn't even have to be a stat block. I'm just thinking like that because I'm a dungeon master.
Yeah, no, totally. And
it could literally
I'm sure
just be like the description of a monster, the lore of a monster. Yeah.
Totally. I'm sure a lot of you think the same as well. So we will provide a template for something like if you want to do a stat block of a monster. I want to make it clear though, the template's completely optional.
Yeah.
You can use the template if you'd like to. You do not have to use it
You can just,
at all.
You can just go willy-nilly.
Totally.
Go crazy,
you can just
go crazy, go stupid.
Crazy, go stupid. There's no hard rules. The only hard rule we have is please keep it to one Discord message length. Nitro users, yes, I know you can do a little bit more. There ain't nothing we can do about that.
I can't do anything about that.
I can't do anything about
I'm
that.
sorry. I'm sorry. I can only set up as many rules as I can.
So keep your submission to literally one Discord message length. That's the only rule. So if you would like to enter, go to our Discord. The link is below. There is a whole category. There is channels. There is guidelines. There is discussions. Take a look and enter. And this will close on Monday the 28th of August.
Monday the 20th of August.
Get it in. You have 1 week.
Get your submissions in.
For your
Get them
corrupted
in.
monsters.
Pause the video. Put it in. Then play the video again.
And then come back.
Do not leave the video now.
Entity.
Algorithm.
So yes, please go ahead. And this is the last of the corrupted.
The
And then
last
we'll
of the
move on to a new
corrupted.
theme.
And then we're going on to fair, I think.
Yeah. What did you all think about the 3-week cycle? Well, the 6-week cycle,
I
3
enjoyed
challenges.
it more. I think I enjoyed it more.
Me too.
Takes a little bit long, 4 weeks.
The 4 weeks definitely felt so long,
It's a
like
long
especially for us.
It's a
yeah.
long time.
Yeah. So let us know and
Let us know.
please enter. Please show me your scary
Enter now.
monsters.
Enter now or die.
Oh my god! There you go. You heard the man.
Look, I'm not going to tell you.
Skedaddle.
I'm not going to tell you if I'm bluffing or not.
We have your blood, so
You just remember that.
So, shall we just get into today's topic?
Oh my god, what's today's topic?
Today's topic is... Sorry, how do I get this to... Oh, what have I done? Oh no!
Margaret has...
What have I done?
No, what are you doing?
Oh no!
Just click down on the screen.
Oh, there we go. This is why I shouldn't have the laptop.
Oh my god, I thought it was me
I
who
know,
was
I know.
technologically
Oh
illiterate.
my god! Oh my
it's
god!
You're the old one.
I'm trying to get it-
young.
I'm trying to get it into full screen, but I don't really know how to do that anymore.
What do you mean full screen?
I'm trying to get it so it's full screen, so I don't see any bars or anything like that. But
Does it?
I don't know
does
if that's
it-
even an option anymore.
Does it matter?
Listen. My eyes can only perceive a certain amount of information. I've just typed full screen monsters. Full screen monsters.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
That should. Work.
You did. It worked.
That should work now.
So it's the F11 key, but the thing is, the F11 key, right, is the brightness down. Anyway, I guess it doesn't really matter that much.
Well, you've just had an insight into Margaret's age.
Yeah. What did you just say?
Your age.
Oh, I am ancient.
You
I'm
are
ancient beyond
You are
all
ancient.
recognition and all compare.
Laptop?
Don't worry.
How do laptop?
How do laptop work?
How
God,
do laptop
do people
work?
even use laptops anymore?
Bunga
Like
da
that's
bunga.
that's how old I'm feeling. Do people even use these anymore?
What else would they use?
I don't know. All you kids with your cool desktops.
I mean, yeah,
builds.
we have desktops as well in there. I'm not going to bring it out for the podcast. Give me a second, guys. I'm just going to bring out my monitor and tower for the podcast.
To be fair, you used to bring out your whole ass computer when we played D&D.
Yeah,
Do you remember?
Not to take notes on a podcast.
Yeah, well, you
Now
know.
we just got a really long HDMI, so I can just plug it in here from in there.
Anyway, that's enough stalling from me. I can't work it out. So, as you've seen, today we're doing horror stories, aren't we? We're doing horror stories.
We're doing horror stuff. Hurry.
Hurry!
Hurry!
We're also doing some wholesome stories
Hurry!
too. So these are all submissions. Thank you so
Oh.
much. These are all
Wow.
submissions. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You keep us alive. Did you know
Keeping
that?
this podcast
You're keeping the blood
alive.
pumping through our veins.
And we're keeping the blood pumping through
Through your
yours.
veins.
Don't tell your lawyer that.
Whether you like it or not. Yeah, no, that's conjecture.
Yeah.
Lawyers, don't listen. That allegedly.
That's allegedly.
So yeah, these are going to be the same format. It's going to be a horror story, a wholesome story, and we're going to end on a wholesome story this time.
All right, baby, let's
It just
go.
feels good. Do you still like this format?
I do.
Yeah, I do as well.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
what you
tell
do.
him. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
It is really nice to actually counteract the nasty horror.
I think
Although
it is.
I feel like, well, I don't know, for like the shock value, like a whole episode of horror stories.
It gets quite.
It gets quite heavy.
Exhausting,
It does
I
get,
think,
yeah,
sometimes.
it does. I agree.
Especially because some of the horror stories we get are so bad.
I agree. And you
It
know
is
what?
nice to break them up.
Like, I was going to be like, we should do a full episode on wholesome stories, right? But it's sad that we don't get enough wholesome stories to be able to do that. We have enough to pad out like an episode. But if you have any wholesome stories, some tear jerkers, some funny moments, some heroics, send them in.
Send them in.
Send
all of them in. Send them everything in.
Oh yeah,
I want
send it all
Just
in.
give it all.
Give us and the
Give
3
us it
digits
all.
on the back of your card
Yes,
while
please.
you're there. Thank you.
Yes.
So
And your blood type.
and you yeah, no, we know,
JK,
no,
I
we
already
know
know
that.
Allegedly.
So, shall we just get into it?
Go.
Look at that, 16 minutes in, we're onto topic. I know, that's
It's like
quite,
back in the day.
that's quite insane, to be honest,
That's
for
because
us.
we've taken out the campaign update.
This
This would be
true.
an
This would
hour
be-
and 16 minutes if the campaign update was
That's
in it.
completely. This would probably be 2 hours and 16 minutes. So, this number, what? We have 8 in total. Oh my god. My brain. I don't have
Is it all of the struggle from the computer?
It's all the struggle from the computer. It's not full screen.
Number 1.
So, this is number 1, and this is sent in by Anonymous, and she goes by she, her.
Anonymous she, her. Thank you very much for your submission.
Thank you so much, Anonymous. So, the title of this is My DM had a massive issue with favoritism, which led to my character being killed off screen.
Great.
I would like to start off by saying that I am no longer in this campaign as it went on hiatus around a year ago. It started online in 2021, and it wasn't until near the end that things took a turn for the worse. So the DM had massive favoritism with my best friend, who we shall just refer to as friend, being the favorite and me being one of the least favorites. It started off with smaller things, such as friend being given special homebrew abilities that he didn't ask for, which gave him information on other characters, whilst none of us got anything similar. His character was also used to reintroduce another character, despite friend asking to stay out of the spotlight as he didn't like being the main character all the time, and he just had a big character arc. Friend has since told me that he felt so bad about being the favorite and getting special treatment. However, the worst instance of this is what is in the title and what happens towards the end of the campaign. We returned to a town we were in near the beginning of the campaign, but with different characters, as they had died or left or new people had joined. Mine and Friend's characters were related as I played his character's mother. His character was your regular lone wolf who, after being raised in the wild, didn't understand human connection and had been having some issues. One day he snapped and ended up killing an NPC when the party split up to go shopping, which was very in character and part of his character development. We ended the session after that shock with the DM and the DM actually gave the friend inspiration for this. The next session, the party found out and Friend's character ran away. My character, having high perception, saw this but did nothing and just let him go. When he left, the DM asked privately if it would be okay for his character to be killed due to a murderer being on the loose in town. Friend said that whilst he was sending this character off, he very much wanted to keep the character alive, so the DM allowed it. Later on, I asked privately if I could leave to search for Friend's character, as he was my character's son after all. Instead of being given a choice, I was told that if I left, my character would die. I would like to point out that my character was a monk, so she would have been able to run away from any attack, but this didn't seem to matter. After conversing with the DM for a bit, he agreed to roll a dice and give me a 50-50 chance, though I am not convinced he did. There were so many people in the village that surely the chance would have been less than 50-50. To make matters worse, I wasn't told whether my character would die until the party actually found her body. I didn't get any final words, any goodbyes, just a quick off-screen death which I had no say in whilst my friend got a choice. When I found out that my friend did get a choice, I was furious. The DM stated that he killed my character as he wanted the murderer to strike again, but it was a big town and an NPC could have died instead of my character, who could have easily ran away. Campaign stopped after a few sessions after that.
Why?
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 Why are you giving this person who ran away the first time a choice? Like, okay, is it okay if I kill your character? No, I don't think so. All right, well, I'm going to chase after that. Okay, you're dead.
Yeah,
like, how can you have one set of rules for one person, yet another for one other?
Do you just want to kill someone?
Yeah,
I think it's kind of weird that the DM, maybe I'm misunderstanding this, because friend was like, they ran away. I don't know if that meant they were gone. They were never coming back.
I think it was just like they're running away to like figure some things out.
Right.
Might have come in with like a separate character, or they might have just not been there for a session or two.
Right.
I see. Because they did something quite, and they got inspiration for it, and like the fact that the DM was like, "Can I kill your character because there's a murder on the loose?" And this person was like, "No." And they're like, okay.
Yeah.
And this person who ran after their child, it was their
they
mother.
Were like, dead.
They were like, okay, it's a 50-50 chance. It's like, well, why wasn't it a 50-50 chance?
It wasn't even a 50. They were just like, you're going to die.
Yeah.
OP had to be like, please, no. And they were like, it's a 50-50 chance.
Oh, now it's a 50-50.
I sincerely doubt that they rolled a dice. So let's be totally honest with you.
Why is it the PCs that are doing? Why isn't it the NPCs? Why isn't it the people in the village? Like, why didn't they make a prominent NPC friend who then died to this murderer?
I just don't know why you would be asking to do this, like, in the first place, even with like friend, right? And man, like, I have never experienced favoritism in a game. I never will, I don't think. I can't imagine how frustrating it must be for everyone to be the favorite.
And I love dishing out abilities and like special magic items and like milestone magic items where you can literally like get it and like level it up through levels and stuff like that. But like when I give somebody a special ability, I give everyone a special ability.
Yeah.
It's like if we're all gonna get cool stuff, we're getting it together. Because if one person gets it, it feels like shit.
It does.
And I understand like you can do it a little bit where it's like as long as everyone knows they're going to get it at some point, you can like one person gets it, then a few sessions later another person gets theirs.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to do it like story like that, you can do it like that, but make sure everyone gets a fair bit of the cake.
Yeah, totally. And like it sounds like Friend didn't even like this. Friend was like, I feel really bad about being the favorite. And I don't understand why they would be getting homebrew abilities that gave them information on the other characters.
Yeah.
Like, that seems really weird.
Why? Yeah.
Like, this all just sounds
stinky.
This sounds really fucking stinky.
A little bit stinky.
And man, for your character to die off screen. To not... OP says, I didn't get to say goodbye. There was no final words. They just found her body.
It wasn't an act of heroics.
That's
it was just
awful.
They walked around the corner and her dead body was there.
That's so awful.
Stinky.
That would be so fucking devastating.
Like, if someone's gonna die, it's like, I'm really sorry. Like, this is the end. Like, what? Do you have anything you want to say? Is there anything you think in your final moments? Is there any heroics people like get to have like last stands? No, this is just like off screen. They find the body. That's
the worst. That's
no
the actual
way.
worst. Like,
stinky.
Oh yeah. What we rating this? What we rate? I'd say
pestilent.
Pestilent. To be honest, these are probably all going to be pestilent.
This is pestilent.
Yeah,
vibes.
These are probably all going to be pestilent. Let's be totally honest.
I fucking hate this so much.
And I'm so glad you don't play with this group anymore.
Fuck this
at least this DM anymore.
Dungeon Master. The rest of the group didn't say.
Yeah.
Even the person who's getting the favorite.
I know.
Was
even
like,
it was like,
I don't need this.
Yeah, that is some absolute bullshit.
Stinky
and I
Dungeon
would be,
Master.
Just a tip. Don't kill your player characters for literally no reason off screen.
Like, and the thing is, it's like you're gonna say, yeah, but I needed the murderer to kill again. It's like, well, literally,
it could be anyone else.
Literally, make an NPC that the fucking characters fall in love with, and they die. That'll make more impact. It
will.
This makes too much of an impact
this
because you've literally killed a player
for no reason as well. Like
stinky.
I see no reason whatsoever for this to have happened. Absolutely no reason whatsoever. And then to be like, it's a 50-50 chance. That proves even more that there's no reason. Like, truly no reason at all. Boo!
I'm angry.
I'm sorry, OP.
My jimmies, the Russells.
Your jimmies are Russell.
And it's steam them out.
Steam them. Go on. Nice. Are you steaming his jimmies?
Why aren't you steaming my jimmies? Steam my jimmies.
Entity.
Steam them.
Oh, all right.
Steam my jimmies.
Are we ready for a wholesome one?
Oh, wait, have a sip of water.
Are we ready?
Have a
Go
sip
on.
of water.
Everyone
hydrate.
little bit of a drink.
Killed off screen because the murderer just wanted
for
to.
no
it's like,
reason.
It's like combat's a thing. Like armor class is a thing. Movement speed is a thing. All of these things are these things so you don't just die.
I know.
Like you can defend yourself. Like I just don't get why it's like, oh yeah, you die. It's like, well, no, I don't, because that's why we have combat.
Yeah, because my character would have put up a fight against just a murderer.
And a monk.
Jesus, it's going to take so much more than just a simple murderer.
It's like, if you're a monk, step of the wind, unarmored movements, you're going to be super duper fast. There's no way it's going to catch you, whoever they are.
You're the main characters. And anyway, oh my God.
Ooh,
bad shit.
Pestilence.
Bad fucking shit. I hate that. All right, wholesome number 1.
Yeah.
How's that? This is better. So this has been sent in by Anxious Artificer, and she goes by she, her.
Anxious Artificer.
Thank you so much. So before we begin, a little bit of context. I grew up in the kind of household that thought D&D was a gateway to devil worship. It is.
It is. Welcome to the Devil's Playground, baby.
When I was in high school, my parents had an intervention with me because they were concerned about how many books I was reading with the word witch in the title. As you can imagine, there were no opportunities to play while living in their house. When I was in college, I was delighted to discover that my roommate played and asked if I could join a session. And then I was told no because I like being the only girl in the group.
Oh.
Oh, gatekeeping.
Oh, gatekeeping.
You are such a joy-stealing bitch.
It's true.
But this isn't about how hard it was to get started. Fast forward a decade and some change, and after a couple of false starts where I'd join a game and it would fizzle out within a session or 3, I finally have a regular group, and I love it even more than I thought it would. We meet every other week, 3 to 4 hours, and it's seriously one of the biggest sources of joy in my life. So I decided I would pass it on to the next generation. Although I'd never tried DMing before and had only been playing long enough to hit 3rd level in my regular game, I decided to gift my 6 nieces/nephews with a Christmas one-shot and plus a set of dice for each of them, when we all gathered for the family holiday. Their ages ranged from 8 to 18, so I decided to homebrew something that I thought would engage them all. In brackets, I know, 6 players and a homebrew game for the first attempt at DMing. Talk about drinking from the fire hose.
Oh, yeah.
Long story short, it went incredibly well.
Hey.
We all had a blast in spite of some pacing issues caused by my inexperience running the game and the age/number of players. 4 out of 6 kids immediately asked for another adventure for next year's gift. My mum even told me, if that's D&D, maybe I would be interested in playing sometime too.
The Devil's Game?
The Devil's Game. And to put the cherry on top of it all, my sister told me last weekend that her teenagers had so much fun that they have been playing D&D with friends almost every week since, and one of them is running the game. So take that, D&D haters and gatekeepers everywhere.
Immaculate vibes.
What a wonderful story.
What a beautiful story.
What a wonderful way to break like a stigma as well.
Yeah.
Like especially within a family. Like, you know, I don't think I don't fully understand like family dynamics, but you know, it must be hard when there's an overarching opinion.
Yeah.
And the fact that you went through that when you were young and then you were like, you know what? This is great, and I'm going to prove it to them.
Yeah.
And the fact that even your mother was like, I'd like to play.
For somebody who does understand family dynamics very well, family dynamics are fucking tough. They're very tough because it's like, it's tough because you love the people because they're your family, but sometimes they're fucking idiots.
Yeah.
in the most brutally honest way.
True.
Like, I love my mother and father. They're fucking brilliant people. They love me and you, and they'll help us out in any situation.
Truly, yes, truly.
But fucking sometimes things that they think and say, I'm just like, you are fucking kidding me. You are joking me.
Yeah. See, like when I had my parents, like my dad especially was very liberal. He was very you know, I get a lot of who I am from who he was.
Yeah.
So, you know, I never had to deal with any of that.
Yeah.
But
And I think I do get a lot of the way I am from my parents, but still they can just say and think things that are just generationally miles away.
And this sounds exactly what this is as well,
Yeah,
right?
like,
you
do you
grew
know
up
what I
in a
mean? Like-
time when satanic panic was a huge thing, and
Like, it's the devil's. It's like
I know.
if we just roll dice and
I
pretend to be
know.
other people, it
I
literally has
know.
nothing to do with it. And if anything, you're fighting most of the time.
Yeah.
Like you can be a lawful good paladin, a cleric who follows the
Yeah.
god. Like you can, like it's nothing to do with that. And
No way,
you know, that
no.
shit's fucking gone now.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
well,
no, I'd like to think for the most
99%,
part
yeah.
it's gone, and I think people who have that mindset potentially don't realize, well, they definitely don't realize that it's a way for people to work through their own feelings.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times people who are emotionally open, who do think, I'm gonna, like, liberally, they think that it's something to do with the devil, and they think, etc., etc. They think mental health is something to do with the devil, and it's like it all ties into each other.
Yeah.
And that's lame and stupid, and
Yeah.
I can't stand that rhetoric. But
like it's so tough because we live in England.
Mm-hmm.
We live in Great Britannia.
Oh my god.
And we don't really have fucking Christianity here.
Well,
Like,
no, we do, but it's
but
nothing
it's
like how it is for,
No.
let's say, if you were in America.
Like, we don't teach, like, we have religious studies, but we have religious studies in terms of, like, we learn a bit about, like, every religion.
Yeah,
Because, London is a cultural hub.
Yes,
like,
indeed.
It is a brilliant place of people of completely different ethnic backgrounds.
Yeah.
I know that we have a lot of fucking racists in this country.
Yes, we do.
But in terms
truly.
of a country, we are quite colourful within our diversity.
And we do have, like, Christian schools,
but
like
not really anyone goes there.
Yeah, and they're, like, strictly just those schools.
Yeah.
So,
like, if you're a Christian in this country, you are in the minority.
Yeah,
Like,
I would agree. I
and-
mean, again, that's us only speaking from our personal bubble of.
No, well,
you
it is.
know.
No, it's like it's not really a massive thing in this country.
No, I don't think it is. At least for the people in our age bracket,
Yeah.
it definitely isn't.
But even like my parents.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And you get the usual, like, well, I believe in something, but it's like, you're not religious or a Christian. That's like a different thing. But yeah, it's just weird because in America, it is like a thing.
It is completely.
It's like a
totally,
thing. Like, Christianity is a massive thing.
Totally. And from Anxious Artificer's story, like I like being the only girl in the group. Stop that. Stop that right now.
Let's fucking.
That's foul behavior.
Yeah.
And I understand why you feel like that. I understand why you've been made to feel like you want to be the only girl, right? I get it. That's not your fault. That's something that the patriarchy has done to you, and I get it. But we have to invite other women into this space,
100%.
and we have to lift them up, and that goes for everything as well.
That goes for every
walk
like,
of life. We have to include women and invite women
Yeah.
and celebrate women and enjoy having women around
And
us.
like, women looking out for women is so important.
It is so important.
I'm not a woman to listen to Margaret.
No,
She's the one whose opinion matters here. But like, it's fucking it's hard enough to be a woman anyway. Like, look after each other to the best of your ability.
Totally.
And us men will we should do our best to fucking look after you as
Yeah.
well. Not look after you. That sounds fucking patronizing.
No, but
and
but
condescending.
you should look out for us.
Look out for us.
us.
We should look out for
definitely,
you
and stand up for us,
Yeah.
and give us space to talk, and give us space to exist. And I understand sometimes, because we've grown up in a patriarchy as women. Yeah, it can be intimidating having other women come in, but I think you have to put that to the side.
Yeah.
You have to put any selfish feelings you have about being a woman to the side, because you're not going to thrive like that.
No.
And you have to remember, that's not you telling yourself that. That's just the world we were growing up in. Anyway, that kind of got off topic a little bit, but thank you, Anxious Artificer. What a wonderful story.
Beautiful story.
What a wonderful story.
And the fact that one of the cousins, was it cousins?
Yeah. Nieces and nephews.
Nieces and nephews is running the game for the
I
other
know.
one. That's so
That's
good.
great. And you've started a whole new thing there.
Like,
and I
this
hope you
is-
get to play with your mum as
What
well.
I don't understand, right, is like, God, this is going to be another tangent. Just give me a second. Like, my mum and dad are like, oh, why aren't you out like on the weekend and stuff like that, and like going out and having a drink? And it's just like, why are we so happy to like promote like alcohol abuse? Yeah, when it comes to Dungeons and Dragons, when
I
you sit in the
know.
house and don't spend loads of money and you just fucking chill out and like literally socialize with your friends, why aren't we like pushing those hobbies?
I
It's
agree.
because, fucking like corporations make money off fucking alcohol and all
Exactly.
this bullshit and that going out with like culture.
I understand being like a nerd is like not as frowned upon as it was,
But it's still
but
frowned upon.
it's still frowned upon. And I agree. I think as a society, we should be encouraging people to have genuine, real moments with their friends, as opposed to feeling like they have to. The only time they can see them is going out on the weekend and drinking. Like that is a huge problem in the UK.
That's a massive problem in the UK.
In the UK specifically, that is a huge problem.
Alcohol abuse in the UK is
terrible.
Fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
Like it's so easy to buy. It's like fucking Scotland bans it after a certain amount of time. Why aren't we doing that?
I know.
Like you shouldn't be able to buy alcohol like after a certain like time.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be 24-hour shops and things like that.
But that's how they make
there should
money.
be, because people work fucking strange hours and they should be able to go buy food, but you shouldn't be able to buy alcohol.
One of our friends was telling us they live in New York and they have a bakery that opens at like
6 o'clock.
6 p.m. and stays open until 2 a.m. Like just sells cookies. Why can't I have that?
Yeah, let's normalize fucking activities
cookies
with our
at
friends.
2 a.m. Oh,
let's normalize activities with our friends that aren't abusing alcohol.
Agreed. I couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. So thank you, actually, Simon, for this.
Thank you. That was a fantastic submission.
That was a wonderful submission. Thank you. Are we ready? Are we ready to go back onto horror? It always feels so bad the first few. Oh, so horror number 2. This has been sent in by Ken, and he goes by he, she, and his TikTok is at Yam Gardens on TikTok. Thank you so much, Ken.
For your submission. Yam Gardens.
Yam Gardens.
Go and give Ken a follow on TikTok.
So, there is a trigger warning, and it is a player being weird in a sexual way and heavy in-game drinking. So, if that is a trigger for you, skip ahead to the next chapter.
Yeah.
I've been playing in a long-term D&D game for a little over 2 years now. I love everyone at my table, but that has not always been the case. One person who played with us near the beginning of the campaign, who we will call Mac, was an absolute nightmare. She had a very unserious character from the start, putting little effort into her character and naming her backstory characters stupid things like vagina. Yeah.
We've talked about this, like, serious campaigns should have relatively serious.
What was it? Was it Dick Sniffer the Barbarian?
Dick Sniffer the Barbarian. And it's just like people were like, yeah, I take him seriously. He's called Dick Sniffer. I'm like, okay, I think we have a different idea of what's serious.
This was simply not the vibe of the campaign, but because it was Mac's first, I cut her some slack. Her character and mine hit it off pretty quickly during roleplay moments, and after a couple of in-session games, I asked if she would be interested in developing a romantic relationship between our characters. Mac was ecstatic and agreed without hesitation. We talked in length about how to go forward, and we both seemed to be on the same page when it came to wanting the relationship to be pretty slow burn. Flash forward to the next session, and Mac makes some very uncomfortable roleplay decisions, including having her character look for sexy stuff in a library.
Okay.
While the party was doing research, followed by taking the sexy stuff into the library bathroom to engage herself. Jack! No! Write that down.
Do you think I can say that?
I don't know. But she took some stuff into the bathroom to have a nice time. It was very awkward. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, that sounds awkward as fuck.
But the rest of us laughed it off and moved on to avoid making a scene. Could you imagine?
No.
Oh my God. No. Could you imagine?
No. You found some smutty books in my campaign.
Yeah. Did I go in?
As a joke?
Yeah, and it was, yeah.
No, you didn't go.
No, I didn't. No, I absolutely categorically did not. In either the same session or the next, the party found themselves at a tavern after completing a task. They were drinking heavily, and my character failed a con save and got pretty drunk. Mac's character followed suit, and our characters started flirting a little more boldly, though mostly in a joking manner. Max then suggested that our characters had sex, which completely took me off guard, since we had discussed having them slowly work up to something romantic, not even 2 sessions before. I expressed not being comfortable with this while they were drunk, but Mac pushed the subject, insisting it would be funny. Not wanting the conversation to last any longer than I had to, I agreed, and the characters got a room and did the deed, though we of course faded to black.
Of course.
Suffice to say, the player is no longer at our table after many repeat offences of pushing boundaries carelessly and thinking nothing of it. This is just a textbook example. I feel like this is...
It's the most awkward, like, horrible thing to feel. Like, somebody doing something like that or saying something like that and, you know, pretending to go to the bathroom and stuff like that. And it's like, nobody's having fun when you're saying these things.
And I just don't understand, like, Mac doing this, right? She, like, what did she think it was funny? Obviously
she did.
Obviously, because she was like, yeah, let's have our characters do the deed.
Yeah.
And because it would be funny, but, like it's always... It would be funny,
but
isn't
it's like,
it?
This is the thing, like, to Mac, this isn't a serious thing.
Yeah,
and to everyone else, it probably is a serious thing. So to Mac to be like, yeah, let's just fuck and do it and whatever. It's like, you aren't, like, feeling as your character. You aren't thinking as your character.
No.
You aren't, like, wanting to build a relationship and have a slow burn and have things mean things. You just want to do it because it's funny. And, like, there's just two different people playing Dungeons and Dragons in two different ways.
Like, what I don't understand is, why did Mac have the conversation beforehand with Ken, being like, yeah, we'll have a slow burn. Yeah, totally, I agree. And Ken says they had an in-depth conversation too. Like, there's I don't know. I think
there's just a breakdown in what, like, you can, I don't know, like, you can say something and then just not mean it, I guess.
True. Yeah, true. And I don't know. I just, what a awful, disgusting situation. And again, no fucking means no. Yeah. Like, it should be as simple as, even if someone doesn't say no, even if someone is uncomfortable, if it isn't an explicit yes, it's still a no.
Like, if somebody says, I don't think I'm going to be comfortable with this, like, why is your next words but?
Yeah, and pushing it and being like, yeah, but
it's like, no, like, if somebody's uncomfortable, like, just stop. Just leave it there. It doesn't need to be any more. It doesn't need to be anything else.
Like, pushing, insisting. Yeah. Like, there should never, ever, ever be a circumstance in which someone is pushing you or insisting or trying to convince you if you haven't explicitly said yes. And that refers to everything in life. Yeah. Like, just absolutely... Where's my hammer?
Pestilent
vibes.
Pesty vibes.
Absolutely, completely pestilent.
The pestiest.
Completely pestilent. And again...
Getting pest control in here.
Yeah, go on. Get him.
Pest control. Get him.
Pest control.
Pest control on
pest
Mac.
Control.
Search for Mac.
Get Lynn in here. Lynn's one of our mods and she works in pest control. I'm sorry if I just doxed you, Lynn. Get her in here.
Get her in here.
Kill the bugs.
Get him.
Kill the pests. Lynn. So, yeah, I'm so sorry, Ken. That is lame. That is
stupid.
Sick. That is pathetic, and
dumb,
that is gross.
sick.
And I'm sorry that happened to you. And again, there's kind of the stigma. You know, Ken goes by he, she. Like, there's a stigma that this only happens to women, and it doesn't. Or female presenting people,
yeah.
It doesn't. And female presenting people can also do
this. Well, we've had it before where there was somebody who was just like
a really similar situation,
like trying to have sex with all the NPCs
and being really, really crude about it too. Yeah. Like, read the fucking room.
Yeah, read the fucking room. And if somebody says they're uncomfortable, don't force them to do something, and don't fucking go and touch yourself in the bathroom.
Oh my god, disgusting. Like, that's absolutely disgusting.
Nobody wants to hear you say that.
Vile.
Nobody wants to hear you say that.
That's absolutely fucking
like,
vile.
You can call it smutty books, and then you can get your smutty books.
And you can have a joke about it, and it's funny.
And, you know, what the thing is, the things you don't say are the funnier things. Like, saying the stupid thing isn't funny.
Yeah.
Hinting that there might be a stupid thing.
Is the funny thing.
You can get smutty books, and that's funny because people understand what smutty books are for. Yeah. You don't have to go, I literally go to the toilet and touch myself.
Disgusting.
That's not funny.
Vile.
And
truly fucking vile.
It's not cool, and it's awkward, and you suck, and you stink, and you're pestilent.
Tell him!
Pest control.
Oh, Lynn!
Pest control.
Oh, all right, a wholesome one. All right, let's sage this. Let's sage this out.
Give me the wholesome.
Let's sage these pestilent fucking vibes out. So this is wholesome too, and this has been sent in by Anonymous. They haven't, and they use they them pronouns.
Excellent.
Thank you so much,
Thank you, Anonymous, for your submission.
Thank you. So hi, I'm someone who works at science and summer camp year round, and I thought I'd share some cute ideas for anyone who works with kids as well. I use they them pronouns. Thank you.
Amazing.
I started playing D&D again after several years this past year. My co-workers and friends took me to a game store to buy my first set of dice, and we took turns DMing one-shots for each other on the weekends when we weren't at camp. One day, I reached into my pocket at work and realized I'd accidentally brought a pair of dice with me. No problem, but I didn't really want to lose them, so I zipped up my jacket pocket and resolved to not lose track of where they were all week. Now we had meals in the dining hall where we sat around a circular table with about 6 or 7 kids. We were supposed to talk to them, silly icebreakers, that kind of thing. Now, I'd like to think that I'm good at my job, but oh my lord, I am absolutely shit at icebreakers and small talk. Most meals, I would sit there silently and try not to die of awkwardness while the kids stared me down.
Kids
do be staring, though.
Kids love to stare.
Kids love to stare.
It's because they don't understand why staring is rude.
Of course
and,
they don't.
You know, like, they'll grow up and they'll understand. But they're just like...
Don't look at me.
And there's, like, snot coming out in the
Don't
noses.
perceive me. They're coughing like that cat. Don't perceive me. Child.
I fucking hate you.
You're a better person than us, OP.
Oh my god, way better person than I am.
I don't know what sparked the idea. Maybe a co-worker, or maybe I just had the dice on my mind since I'd accidentally brought them into work with me. But at lunch that day, I looked around at the kids and I just blurted out, "Do you guys want to play some D&D?" The answer was yes, and I was off to the races. I pulled out my dice and set them on the table and asked one kid to pick the setting. He chose an aquarium. Okay, I can work with that. So why are you guys at the aquarium? Soon, our little party consisting of a penguin trainer, a girl who worked part-time at the gift shop to pay for college, a 6-year-old who was obsessed with fish, and an exhausted office worker who got lost and ended up in the aquarium. Somehow we're tracking down a giant who stole the penguin trainer's penguins through an interdimensional portal to an abandoned island.
Now,
and we were fighting to get them
D&D.
back. It was the most wildly ridiculous game of D&D I've ever played. No races, no classes, barely any rules. The dice determined it all. Roll to see how that went. High number good, low number bad. Hey, you hit the giant. Awesome. Fuck it. Roll 2d8 for damage. I've decided in this moment that the giant has 25 HP. Okay. Now you're throwing a coconut at him to try and knock him out. And at 20, yeah, the 6-year-old just clobbered the giant and he's unconscious. Overall, it was an excellent exercise in improvisation on my part, and I've never seen a group of kids have so much fun.
I thought you were going to say the giant has 25 AC, and I was like, Jesus Lord.
The mini campaign ended when lunch did, with the heroic rescue of the penguins and the giant vanquished forever. I've used this exact way to play with loads of kids of all ages when we only have an hour or two of time and they love it. It's such a great way to inspire a love for storytelling and create interest in actually learning to play D&D.
Love that.
Needless to say, my tables at meals were never quiet again, and I have several sets of miniature dice I bought for like $5 from my local gaming store that live in my uniform jacket pocket at work that I tend to lend to kids during meals or in my cabin when my campers want me to play during their free time. I highly recommend. What
That's
a wonderful
amazing.
Man! Listen, kids, not my cup of tea.
Jive,
Not my cup
not
of
my
tea.
thing.
But man, I love the idea that there is good, patient people like you out there teaching them the love of not even just D&D,
Just
like
the
you said,
fun
like
of
storytelling
D&D,
and improvisation and thinking on your feet. Like, I feel like stuff like that isn't taught enough.
Like, that was a interdimensional Gates who's coming and taking his penguin. Like, I think you're very creative to be able
to be able
not
to
only think up that, but keep the kids engaged in it as well.
Totally.
It's hard to keep kids engaged.
Oh my God,
so
100%.
I think you should be really proud of yourself.
And the fact they loved it, and the fact that it's like a common thing, and I bet you have kids fucking banging down your door constantly to play with you.
Every lunchtime, I want to go sit at that table and play D&D.
But I love that.
I would have loved that as I was a kid.
I would have too.
I don't think, like, I've always, see, it's so weird. I only think I've realized in the last, like, since I started playing D&D like 4 years ago or whatever, that I actually just love fantasy.
Me too. Yeah, me too.
Like, I always was like, oh, this is really cool. Why do I like it so much? And it's like a dragon. Oh, this is cool, and it's Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And it's like, I didn't realize it was just like the traditional fantasy setting that what was like excited me.
Yeah, me too. Well, see, it was kind of different for me because look at me. I was very weird when I was a kid. I was very strange.
I don't think that's true.
I was
what
very
do you all
different.
Think?
Yeah, you can say it. I was weird.
What do you all think?
I looked like Jacob Black when I was a kid, and everyone let me know. It's
everyone
fine.
let me know.
I was strange as a kid. I was weird as a kid, and I was never. I was gonna say I was never bullied. That's not true, but you know, I had friends, and none of my friends ever had the same interests as me. I grew up on the internet from like the age of like 8. I was on the internet because my dad had a job that allowed me to have a computer and the internet. And I grew up on Neopets, and I grew up on Habbo Hotel.
Yeah.
So I got into online role playing from a very young age, and I loved fantasy and I loved everything like that.
Yeah.
But as I grew up and I got interested in boys and I got interested in being popular.
Stinky.
I let all of that drop to the wayside, and it was still uncool, even when we were teenagers, to dislike stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, to just, if you said you played World of Warcraft when in school, you'd be bullied to fuck.
See, well, this is the thing. I was an outdoors kid. I played football. I did like all the popular kid things. I was on the rugby team. Like I was all of it. I played all of it. I did all of it. But I still played World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
And I still liked Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And I loved RuneScape. Like I did all of these things, and I didn't understand why like other people weren't doing it. And they were like, this is lame. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? This is the cool shit, bro.
I know.
This shit bangs hard.
Agreed. And I think it's only when you get into your adult years and you stop caring about those superficial things, and you can actually really embrace the things you like. I'm sure you've all done it. Like when you were younger and you listened to like cringy music, right? When you get into a teenager, you're like, that's so cringy. Now you're an adult, I bet you listen to that cringy music and you fucking love it.
Yeah.
It's just part of growing up. And
it's just growing up.
I think if I was a kid and I had someone like OP who taught me to love these things, I wouldn't have suffered so many years of pretending I didn't like these things.
I know, and like I just wish I had realized earlier in life that these are the things that I actually really enjoyed.
Me too.
Like, I've always loved playing video games and playing like just immersing myself in fantasy things. But I think I just didn't do it for so long because I was trying, like you said, trying to be cool, trying to be popular, and those things weren't cool and popular. If somebody had just been like, no, it's okay to like these things, like no one cares.
I have hope for the future generations.
See, I have way more hope about the generations now because I think they are literally like do what you want. Do what makes you happy.
Totally.
Be who you want to be.
Totally.
There's not like this pressure to be somebody else. Nowhere near as much as there was when we were kids.
And I think it's because our generation, like millennials, who we were denied so many things.
Yeah.
We were in such a terrible situation between the new age of digital media that we were able to understand, but also we have the memories of like analog media.
Yeah,
right?
and also like we have our parents
exactly
who were like the generation of who don't understand that
they
stuff.
Were boomers.
They were boomers,
yeah, definitely.
And I think like it's because now we are having kids, not us.
No.
People our age are having kids. Like they don't want like that for them.
Exactly.
And they don't want to like be denied all these things.
Yeah, OP. And even Anxious Artificer in the previous story grew up being told it was the devil's game and was like, I'm not going to let the next generation of my family go through this again. Thank God we have people out there who are willing to show the younger generation that it's okay. And I'd like to think from a distance, we, you know, if you're younger and you watch us, because I know we do have a few people under 18, like, it's fucking fine to like what you like.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And whoever tells you that you're uncool because you like the stuff, like, that's just because they're fucking insecure.
It's because they're projecting.
And they have no clue who they want to be.
Exactly.
And you have way more of an idea of who you want to be. And you just fucking do that. And you just be who you want to be and fucking be the person who makes you feel comfortable.
Agreed.
Because this world will do everything to try and make you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah,
and
well.
like you aren't normal and you aren't right unless you like this, wear this, listen to this, eat this. And it's just fucking bullshit.
Agreed.
It's all fucking bullshit.
Agreed. Fully agreed. So thank you, OP.
Thanks, OP.
Wow, there's been a lot. You know what? I think it's the nature of the wholesome stories.
Yeah, it's like breaking the mold.
Yeah.
That's what they end up doing.
Totally.
And that's why they're wholesome and awesome. And I love them.
Thank you. Thank you so much, OP. Thank you.
Thank you.
So this next one, this has been sent in. Oh, I'm sorry. This is a horror story.
Stinky,
I apologize.
But also, thank you very much for your
I
submission.
deeply apologize. So this has been sent in by Anonymous, and she goes by she, her.
Thank you, Anonymous She, Her, for your
Thank you,
submission.
Anonymous she, her. So my best friend had created a homebrew game with a group of 5 players, including myself. I knew 2 of them and had gotten to know the other 2 recently, and the vibe of the table was really amazing. This was until player number 6 joined. Now, this was someone that I didn't know, but they followed me on social media site where I make content. Also, this is a longer one, but you'll see why it's a longer one.
Yeah.
They had joined my Discord, and while I was in a chat channel with a few other people, including my best friend who was the DM, I was excitedly telling people that I was excitedly telling the people I was talking to about the D&D campaign, and we were a few sessions in at this point. This person had joined the call and basically invited themselves to our game. It was an awkward moment for both myself and my friend, the DM, who begrudgingly agreed to send them the survey to see how it would play out. Both of us not wanting to embarrass them in front of a group of people in the chat and also trying to remain polite. And this was also my friend's first time being a DM. In all capitals, big mistake. The player was playing a noble-born warlock with a strong emo boy anime vibe. They had barely/sarcastically filled out the survey, leaving a bunch of holes and contradictions in the story. They claimed that they were an experienced player who had played this character at several other tables before essentially being forced not to play them as they were too powerful. We quickly found out the real reason that they were made to leave other tables.
Uh-oh.
Now my character was a changeling, cursed to wake up as a different persona. There were 7 in total after every long rest. One of the personas. One of the
No, persona.
One of the personas was a high-class escort who was well known throughout the country. This player had reached out to me asking if there was any way we could link our characters, as they did not know anyone else in the group. I let them know of my escort persona, and we decided that the player's character's family would have used her services. I expressed multiple times that this was a job for my character and nothing more, but they had other ideas.
Yeah, here we go.
This is so much like one of the other things we read out the other day. They began treating my character like we were a couple, messaging me multiple times and telling me how the characters should react to one another. The messages were increasingly starting to seem like they were not able to separate themselves from the character or me from mine. They would message me about how they hoped it was okay that their character had slept with mine, even though it was approved and clarified as being a paid job for my character. I even pointed out that, given her age, she had probably slept with her mother and father as a paid gig, to which they told me they weren't comfortable with the thought of, you sleeping with my mother, but my father is fine? It then became a point where, no matter what my character woke up as, they would follow my person around wherever I would go, barely interacting with other players. I had one persona that did not get along with their character, and they immediately messaged me, telling me that they couldn't figure out a way to make us get along. And I'm not telling you how to roleplay,
but I am.
And then proceeded to tell me how to roleplay my own character in order to get along with theirs.
Yeah.
It was stressing me out to a point where I no longer wanted to play as the escort persona and was basically running from their character the entire time. I shared my concerns with my DM, who shared with me that they were also having issues on their end, as this person was holding out on backstory information in order to include their character in everyone else's story. For example, suddenly their aunt had dabbled in the escort business, etc. It got to a point where the other players were asking our DM not to touch on their backstories for fear that they would try to manipulate their character into it.
Which is no good for the fucking Dungeon Master.
They had a split persona where their patron had placed a loyal servant into their character's head and claimed it was an ancient being that had lived for centuries in a well-educated civilization, began playing it out as a golem-esque creature.
Oh god. This is the worst. This is the worst.
Oh, I just got the ick from that so bad. They messaged me after the reveal of this character, upset that people had not reacted enough to it, particularly their giggle. Despite the reveal happening where only one character was present enough to notice it. Myself and our tank were on the other side of the temple in a fight, and our ranger was heavily wounded, etc. I pointed out that the character who was next to them did have a reaction, and they complained that it wasn't focused on enough. The next session, they rolled a 1 on initiative and suddenly had a meltdown, ignoring when other characters were actively speaking to them, being curt and sarcastic to our DM, and they act like a toddler over a roll they made. They then messaged me saying they thought that the DM was being lenient on my rolls for my rogue when they were stealing from a mansion, and I was rolling over 20 plus during this time, and all of our rolls are done digitally. Needless to say, they were shortly kicked from the table.
Well.
Jesus
What
fucking
a
Christ.
fucking stinky situation.
Jesus.
Did they leave the pronouns of this person who joined?
Yes, he.
Big
him.
fucking surprise.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
this whole, like, ownership over women, because obviously, OPs...
no. So they refer to this person as they, them. However, they refer to their character as emo boy vibes.
Okay, so I can't say that.
That's
no,
That's
not fair. I don't know. I don't know
that is us assuming.
But, you know, like, I guess still, regardless of gender or anything like that, like, ownership over women, like, and, like, the sense of ownership that this person has over OP is so fucking wrong. You okay, Boo?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm agreeing with you. I'm nodding.
Right.
I'm agreeing with you.
I thought you were like looking at something.
No, I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, it's just stinky and wrong, and I fucking hate it. And like, it's just one thing I really don't like is the whole like when they started to come up with the backstory, it's like, I have a bit of your backstory.
I know.
I have a bit of your backstory.
I know.
It's like, let people have their own pie.
Like, why do you have to get involved
like,
every
suddenly
time?
Someone in their family is like part of an escort business. Suddenly the part of the has something to do with this person. Something, it's like, just why? Why do you have to be sticking your finger in everyone else's pie?
I know. And you know what? Another thing, it's like, so OP wanted to have one of the personas be like an escort character, right? It's like that they can play an escort character, but it doesn't have to be all about fucking sex.
It doesn't like the amount of like, but this is, I will say, I do think part of this is society's fault.
No, yes.
I think that there's not enough education around sex work and things like that.
I completely agree.
Sex work is a fucking valid job and a valid career path and a valid, like, it is such fucking bullshit how like society thinks about sex work.
I know.
And like the problem is it fucking paints it in such a negative light.
I know.
That when it comes to people like this, uneducated people like this,
they're like,
we fucked.
Yeah. So
it's like that's all they boil it down to.
That's all. And like, again, the fact that they had agreed upon all these things, I'm assuming there had been a session 0. I'm saying all this on the assumption there was a session 0. It was okay to touch on these things, but again, like, you can play an escort character who actually has nothing to do with that. Like, the relationships that the escort character has doesn't have to immediately boil down. Boil down into that.
Yeah.
And I hate that it always goes that way.
Yeah.
You hear escort, and I'm sure people get a picture in their head, right? And that is society's fault. I agree.
That is society's fault. And the problem is, as soon as somebody says escort, a lot of, like, I'm not saying this in this situation, but in a lot of situations, I can guarantee you all the guys around the table, as soon as a woman says that she's playing, or a female presenting person says they're playing an escort, all the guys go,
yeah.
Like the horny thing comes out, and they're like, I'm gonna try and sleep with that character. It's like, just because somebody is a sex worker doesn't mean they want to sleep with you.
Oh my god, 100%. Oh my god,
it's so fucking annoying and disrespectful.
It is
to think as soon as somebody is a sex worker, they want to sleep with you.
Yeah, and then like the weird mixing of like, you know, we could only take OP's word on this, but the fact that when they were messaging, being like, "Oh, we should do this and we should do that and we should interact like this,"
and you should you should react like this. It's like,
shut the fuck up.
Why the fuck do you get to tell me how my character reacts? I just do not get it.
And The Gollum thing.
Like, man, like, look. This that stuff that it's like that we don't have to tackle that because look.
You do what you want.
Sometimes you do things that you think are going to be funny and they just maybe don't land.
Yeah.
But for the love of God, don't fucking keep pumping it to try and if it wasn't funny the first time, it's probably not going to be funny the second time or the third time.
And like to be like they didn't react. And especially being like they didn't react to my giggle.
Like in a way that does make me feel a little bit sorry for them.
I agree. No, I agree. I agree.
Like that.
I agree.
That hurts me deeply.
Yeah, I know. I
in
agree.
A way.
I feel that. And you know what? If it was just a horror story, including that, it wouldn't be a horror story, would it?
The rest of it is like that bit. It's just sad. The rest of it I don't like, but that bit's just sad.
And you know, like
I've been privy to those situations where somebody's done something hoping to get a laugh and nobody laughs.
I know, and it's awful. I know.
I can feel my dick falling off from the cringe.
Like, and again, like, man, OP, you mentioned that like you make social media, you make content on a social media site, and you were in a public Discord. Like, I also can't help but feel like if maybe this person you say followed you on social media and everything, like, yeah, they probably fucking were just wanting to get close to you. And, you know, maybe I'm speaking from a biased lens where I've learned my lesson from being publicly involved with people and it backfiring. Like, so I get it. But, and you know what? I was going to be like, man, there's a lot of red flags there, but how the fuck were you to know? How were you to know that? Like,
this person basically just invited themselves in and made it so you couldn't invite them, basically.
And this is a perfect example of if you don't want to do something, if you don't want someone to play with you, you can simply say like thank you for your interest, but no.
Yeah.
Simply no.
But I understand it is like harder than
especially in public, not wanting to embarrass them in front of people.
Yeah.
But
like that's hard to navigate.
You know, them filling out the survey and filling it out weird, like that would surely be reason enough to say no.
And like, you know, they're out now, so thank God.
Yeah, thank God.
You know,
Jesus. You know, in the future,
you
don't owe anyone anything. By the way, you don't owe anyone anything, so you don't have to do anything you don't want to do.
Not in life. Nope. Not in D&D. You don't know anyone. Fucking, they'll make you think they do.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, mother of God, and especially guys. Yeah, guys will fucking make you think that you fucking owe them something, but you don't owe them anything.
Nope, you don't owe them anything.
You don't owe them anything.
Oh, so thank you, OP.
Thank you,
I'm sorry about that. I'm glad you don't play with that person anymore.
No.
Ugh.
Stinky.
All right.
Gollum's giggle?
No, stop. Go on.
What would Gollum's giggle sound like?
I don't know. No, don't do it. I can't handle it.
No, go on.
I don't want to do it. No, I don't want to do it. I can't. I'm not doing it. Like, I don't know. Yeah, no. Like, what's Gollum's giggle?
I think Gollum's would be more manic, wouldn't it? Like, he's cracked, isn't he?
I don't want that. I wouldn't want that. No, go on.
I don't want
I didn't think so.
You want to do yours again?
All right. This is I know, I'm sorry. Let's wholesome number 3.
Wholesome more
let's get this. Let's come on. All right.
Cleanse this.
All right, everyone give me Gollum's giggle. Thank you. You killed it.
That was so good.
You killed it.
That was great.
That was nice.
Right?
Oh, I'm sweating. All right, this one has been sent in by Anonymous, and she goes by she, her.
Anonymous, she, her. Thank you for your submission.
Thank you, Anonymous. So I'm not sure if this classes as funny or heartwarming, but it's entertaining to me, so I'm going to tell it.
Tell it, baby. Tell it.
This is how my friend and I bully each other into self-care through our D&D characters. I'm sure you all know how this is going to go. I DM a group, and one of the players is one of my best friends from college. I originally agreed to DM for her and some others that she knew because she was going through a hard time and playing D&D helped that. This was my first real attempt to DM since previous campaigns fizzled out, and I didn't really know the rules or how to DM. But by playing with this group and consuming other helpful D&D content like your podcast, I felt much more confident. Thank you.
Thank you. We love you. You're amazing.
And thank you. I'm glad that you get something with it.
Like Gollum's giggle. Like Gollum's giggle.
She came up with a character with a traumatic backstory. She likes to explore darker themes, and I obliged, helping her develop a whole secret organization and other characters in her backstory that could potentially fuck her shit up out of the blue. Again, she really enjoyed those surprises and what turns I take with her character's backstory. And through the storytelling process, she was starting to heal a little from her own trauma. But then life happened and my life exploded. It got harder and harder to DM, but I wanted to keep going because I knew it meant so much to her and my players. So she offered to DM a game on alternate weeks to help with the strain of playing D&D every week and would allow me to play, which I missed.
Nice.
During her campaign, my character grew close to an NPC that she cared very deeply for. However, my real life was still imploding around me and I wasn't taking care of myself mentally like I should. So my friends said if I didn't take care of myself, bad things would happen to the NPC. At first, it was just a joke, but as we played, I realized how much my character cared for the NPC and how much I didn't want bad things to happen to the both of them if I could help it. So I started taking care of myself like I should, and gradually life resumed to normal and the NPC survived.
Thank God.
Though the DM still threatens to go down the dark timeline if I go back to my bad habits of putting other people's needs before my own. Now the shoe is on the other foot, and I realised I could threaten the same thing for her character in my campaign.
Uno reverse card.
Unfortunately, as I brainstorm on ways to torture her character, she helps me brainstorm and comes up with even worse ways to put them through the ringer. We joke that we have to have a bet going on to who can deal the most emotional damage, and needless to say, it's her. But honestly, playing these characters and in each other's stories has been helpful to both of us. So I guess in this one instance, bullying in D&D was a good thing. Mental warfare, I like it. Yes.
But for the benefit.
But for the benefit of the person.
For the good of the people.
This is exactly what I say when I say like D&D is something that, you said it yourself, your friend, she's been able to heal a little bit because of things. And if that ain't the truth, I don't know what is.
Yeah, it is the truth. It is the truth. No matter what they say. We know who they are. But it's true. Like, it can help you work through things that like subconsciously some people do it.
Yep.
Very overtly, like some people do it, and some people like want it to happen to like get them through it.
Some people don't. Some people
want nothing to do. They want to fucking go as far away from themselves as possible,
which is just as valid.
Just escape, and like that's valid as well.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, like that's very good it's just good that you have friends like that around you.
It's good that you care for each other, and I think sometimes it can be scary, your friends having like an intervention with you and being like, look, what's going on?
Yeah.
You need to take care of yourself. Yeah. And I know that you're kind of having these conversations in a roundabout way, but it feels very like in a gentle way. It feels in a funny, comedic, but like, no, I'm here for you and I want to help you. I just think that's just wholesome as fuck, isn't it?
Yeah,
really?
It is. Yeah. And to do it in like a way that didn't have to be an intervention.
Exactly.
And was simply just like maybe a bit of a joke, but it was like, but seriously, you should take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Or otherwise
this person's dead.
I'm going to murder this NPC in front of your character's eyes.
Yep.
And then you go, no!
Yep.
And then it just makes you think, maybe I should.
Totally.
Maybe I should like actually genuinely take the advice.
Absolutely.
And then you did. And now you're in a better place, and now you Uno reverse carded them, and you're doing the same thing to them, and I bet you it feels good.
I do, and you know, like I think it's hard when you're going through something to be able to look at yourself in that moment and be gentle with yourself. However, you put those exact same circumstances on someone else, you put them on a character that you're playing, it's easier for you to be like, well, yeah, my character is going through this and feeling this because of that, and you should be fucking gentle with her.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's taking yourself out of your own body and looking at it from a different view.
Yeah.
I think D&D is sometimes, and I think that's a great thing. Like that's why I fucking love D&D so much. What about you?
Why do you love D&D?
Huh?
Tell me in the comments down below the reason you like D&D.
I
like Gollum's laugh.
No. just a little.
Damn.
Yeah, I know.
You're such a great voice actor.
I voice acted.
You did voice
Gollum.
It's true. Wait, how old were you when the first movie came out?
You don't want to know?
I think it came out in 1999, wasn't it?
No,
Yeah.
surely not. Surely
Fellowship
it
of
was
the
like
Ring came
2000s.
out. Fellowship of the Ring came out in 1999.
Was it not 2000 or 2001? Hold on.
Fellowship of the Ring came out in 1999.
I'm going to look it up. Fellowship of the Ring. It came out in 2001.
Nah!
Yep.
2001?
Yep.
You were 8.
Yeah, exactly. And I voiced Gollum and what?
Yeah, good on you. Well
good
done.
On you.
And
good on you,
and
OP.
good job.
Good on your friend
Your
as
friend
well.
has your back, and you have your friend's back.
Yeah.
And that's a friendship that you should never let die.
Totally. I completely agree.
So that's really good.
That is good.
That's
Well done.
Well
both of
done.
you.
Well done,
I
everyone.
hope you have a long and fruitful friendship and D&D games ahead of you.
Yes.
So, let's get on to the last horror. This is it. This is the last horror. We're going to end on a wholesome one, and it's going to be really nice and sweet, but we must trudge through the bullshit that is this last horror story.
I made the note wrong because I suck.
It's okay. It's all right.
I had to do a scribble.
No.
There's a scribble. There's a scribble on my sheet.
Okay. So this horror number 4. This has been sent in by Horizon, and he goes by he, him.
Thank you, Horizon, for your submission.
Thank you, Horizon. So my first and only time playing D&D was a few years ago. Don't worry, this story didn't ruin my experience of the game. I've just had to focus on other things. An old friend from school told me her boyfriend had DM'd a few times before and was running a campaign that she and a couple of friends were in, and that I was welcome to be part of it. I sat on Discord for a couple of hours with both my friend and the DM to assist me with character creation, and I created a tiefling soul knife rogue that I thought seemed super fun.
Man, everyone seems to be a soul knife rogue at the minute. Every story we read, Abby's been a
Soul
soul
Knife
knife rogue. Somebody made a soul knife rogue on Baldur's Gate that I know. Everyone's just like
Soul Knife Rogue, baby.
Everyone, and we've had a few submissions about the soul knife rogue.
Soul Knife Rogues. However, during the whole creation process, the DM would hint to things such as Tasha's Cauldron of Everything adds such stupid things, or I have no idea how balanced Soul Knife is. If he had told me directly that this was an issue, then I would have changed my subclass, but it just seemed like indirect complaints. When my first session came about, I think I was brought up to level 3 to be in line with the rest of the party, meaning I had access to my psychic blades.
Yeah.
My first combat happened pretty early on in the session and was against what I think was some goblins in a cave, but as I said, it was a few years ago, so the details are foggy. I used my psychic blades and rolled pretty well too, meaning that I could tear through a few of these goblins with ease. The whole time, the DM outwardly sighed or mentioned that, "This seems a bit strong, are you sure you're using them right?" I'm pretty sure I was using them right, and I wasn't doing any crazy damage. I was just conjuring a dagger from one empty hand and throwing it, before using a bonus action to conjure a second from my offhand. After this combat, it seemed like the DM wanted me to be excluded from as much combat as possible. In brackets they said, maybe it's just me looking too much into it though. I investigated a scroll and I found in the goblin cave, and it happened to curse my character with paranoia and blindness. I was forced to sit in the corner of the cave for multiple turns and roll on my turn to try and overcome the curse. During this time, one of the party members were taken further into the cave to be sacrificed, and because only 2 people were left to fight their way through the goblins, while my character was having to roll a crazy high number to break the curse, that player's character ended up being sacrificed and his character was lost. The player was openly pretty annoyed with the party for not rescuing him, rather than the DM for causing the situation in the first place. To me, as someone who had only played a session once a few years ago, I can't help but feel like our DM had the mindset that he was against the players, and not that there was to be a narrative guide and a storyteller. I felt as if my subclass choice meant that I would be targeted more harshly than some of the others just because he didn't like it or thought it was too strong.
Sounds like it.
And it was really hard for me to discern whether it was just a shitty DM situation or if this was just how D&D worked.
No, it was a shit DM. That was a shitty DM situation.
After watching your podcast for a while now and doing my own research, I can safely say that I definitely love to play D&D again soon, but I'm interested in hearing your opinion on my interpretation of my one and only session thus far.
I'm going to say it out loud, nice and quick so you can hear it.
Go on.
The Soul Knife Rogue isn't that powerful.
No, the Soul Knife Rogue is definitely not unbalanced.
Like,
the Soul Knife Rogue is cool as fuck.
The Soul Knife Rogue is cool, and it does damage, but it's not where its strength lies. Its strength lies in the fact that
it can be a skill monkey.
It's a skill monkey.
Yeah.
When it fails, it gets to roll the dice to see if it gets to get over the DC of the skill fail it checked. If it doesn't succeed at that point, it gets to keep it.
Yep.
You get a nice amount of dice. It's great. It's very good for overcoming traps and puzzles and like anything that it requires a skill check. It's great at.
Yeah.
Combat. It's okay.
Yeah. Combat. It's a rogue. It's a rogue in combat.
It does damage.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's nothing fucking stupid. So like, your dungeon master just had a fucking stick up there.
Yeah, like obviously the thing is, obviously from day one, your DM was like, "Ooh,
you're picking from Tasha's. That's too strong."
Yeah, but why? Again, oh my god. Again, why not just say, like, this is just a perfect example again of spineless people not being able to in the moment. And you know what? Maybe it's unfair of me to say spineless people because
I don't think so.
it is hard to say in the moment, and I understand that.
Is it? Yeah, but the thing is, it might be hard to say in the moment, but you're punishing them because you can't.
Yeah.
Like, either say it in the moment or don't punish them.
Exactly. Yeah, I completely agree. Either say in the moment or say, after the fact. Say it some...
Say it.
Just say it at some point in some capacity. Don't punish them in game. Man, randomly finding a scroll and randomly being blind and having to sit in a corner and then to sit there while the other party member is annoyed at the party on whole for not helping. That is such a terrible situation.
That's like, it's a terrible way to punish them.
Awful.
It's like, if you clearly have a problem, the thing is, it's like, personally, it's all about DM adjustment. Like, you should try and adjust to what your players want. Like, because nothing is really that imbalanced. Yes, there's a few subclasses that are fucking stupid, and we get it. But Soul Knife Rogue isn't one of them.
No, definitely
So,
not.
like, if you have a problem with Tashes and you don't know how to balance it yet, then just don't let people play Tashes.
Yeah, totally. That's
play Xanathars and PHB, but at the same time, I don't think you should do that. But if you're going to do this, I would rather you fucking just ban Tashes than make people like have a bad time because you don't know how to balance it.
Yeah, and it's like, there is nothing wrong with telling people no. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. There is nothing wrong with you as a DM being uncomfortable, not sure how to balance something, especially at character creation when you're fucking spitballing ideas. Nothing wrong with saying, you know what, I don't know about this. Would you, like, are you sold on this? If you are, could we talk about it and see how it goes? Or could you switch? Could you change?
Just jab with
don't just...
Tashes is introduced like all this unbalanced stuff while they're picking from Tashes.
Like, some people just, again, especially, it was their very first game. How the fuck was Horizon supposed to know?
Yeah, Horizon just picked something that sounded cool.
Yeah, well, exactly.
The Soul Knife does sound cool.
Yeah, the Soul Knife is cool.
It's so cool.
Like, it is cool.
It's cool. It's just so cool. Thematically, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's unreal. It's so cool.
Yeah. I actually hate more than anything like the passive aggressiveness.
Yeah.
Just be clear with people.
Just be honest.
Everyone
with people.
will have such a better time if you just are honest with them. And it can take a little while to get there.
It can.
It can take a while to get there.
Again, like, if you've got a problem, which you clearly did, because you said these things, like, just be honest. Even go as far to ban the book if you don't know how to balance it, because you're basically not being honest, not banning it, but then being a fucking asshole because of it. Like, you need to do one of the two things. Don't just do nothing and then punish people because you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Because that's the wrong thing to do.
And honestly, Horizon, I think you know that what the situation was because your gut told you and your interpretation is completely correct.
100% correct.
Our opinion is exactly the same opinion as yours.
Yeah, 100%.
This DM should have been honest with you. They definitely didn't know how to handle you, so they just thought they would just punish you for it.
Which is stinky.
Stinky and lame.
Stinky as hell.
Stinky and lame and...
Stinky.
I hate that.
I hate it.
Please, I know you say it hasn't put you off playing D&D, but please don't let it.
No, don't.
That is not how all tables are, not how tables should be.
Join the Discord.
Join the Discord
and find a group in there.
Yeah, we have games going on all the time
games
now
going on in
Discord.
there. Loads of DMs looking for players. Loads of players
exactly.
looking for DMs. Get in there.
Take a look.
You can play a Soul Knife Rogue in there.
You can play a Soul Knife Rogue, and if anyone tells you otherwise, I'll slap him.
Give him a slap.
How about that?
Show him.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
how's that?
You just got slapped.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You want another one? Oh, baby!
Don't make me do it again.
Third time's the charm.
What do you think?
There we go.
I've upset the dog.
Dog's upset.
Oh,
now.
I've upset the dog. Oh no, he's put his head back down. Sorry, that was probably super fucking loud.
No, that's all right. It's good content, right?
Yeah, that's good. That getting slapped by mother.
Getting slapped by mommy.
Getting slapped by mommy. Yeah, good content there.
Mama.
So thank you, Horizon. Thank you so much for your submission. That's lame and shit and boring.
Lame and shit and boring.
And please do try D&D again.
If you don't know how to balance something, there's just so many resources on the internet and so many people talking about like strengths and weaknesses of subclasses. Like, and it's not for you to just exploit all the time, but if somebody is a little bit powerful, like every now and then introducing a combat where they can't just do the normal thing that's really strong is a good way to test them and make it realize that it isn't super fucking broken.
Totally.
Like, there's ways to do it, not this.
No, agreed. Very much
stinky.
So. Stinky.
Stinky. We got a stinky DM on our hands.
Oh, so this is the last one. We've made it. We've made it to the end. To be fair, we're only an hour and 24 minutes in so far, which we've smashed this out. Oh my god. So this is the last one. This is your fill. Listen, you've got no more after this. So you better finish your plate, otherwise you're not going to get dessert.
Yeah, get dessert. Yummy dessert.
Yummy.
So
this is our last wholesome story.
Yeah.
And this has been sent in by Craig, and he goes by he, him.
Craig.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Craig. Cheers, Craig.
So I'm a first-time DM, and other than nerding out heavily on reading lore and watching a lot of Critical Role, I haven't played much. But a small group of close friends were up for a campaign, and I had a story I wanted to tell, so I ended up giving it a whirl. I have to say, the first 2 sessions were terrifying, and balancing combat was terrible. I almost killed an NPC in the first encounter. Well,
I almost TPK'd my party in my second, so don't worry.
It happens.
Everyone does it.
It happens. Well, now we're 20 sessions in, and the story is out of the window as this lot are just pure chaos. But the amount of hilarity that has ensued is incredible. The party now has a were-tiefling, which is a pig that transforms into a tiefling through lycanthropy.
Right.
NPC in the party.
Nice.
They spent like 8 sessions trying to make this pig they rescued into a person, and nothing else matters to them.
Nothing. Nothing matters.
But after going through some real struggles and thinking that they weren't enjoying my campaign, I'm just leaning into allowing them to follow their own path. The result is awesome. Everyone is having a great time, and they're all so invested. The pinnacle was last session when the warlock turned up with a drawing of Crispy Bacon, that's the pig,
Crispy Bacon,
in his tiefling transformation. They had been working on it for a couple of weeks, and it's beautiful, and it's exactly how I imagined Chris would look. It felt so good that they are into this game. Happy to share the amazingness that is Crispy Bacon with y'all, and love the podcast. User great.
Cheers, Craig.
Thank you, Craig.
Like, this is the thing. This is like D&D can be anything.
Yeah.
Anything. I know Matthew plays in a game like this.
Oh, yeah.
He plays in a game other than ours, and it is just
unbridled chaos constantly.
Like chaos. The DM fucking preps some stuff. They don't really do it. They just fucking fuck around and do all sorts.
But they all love it.
And it's like,
love it.
This is the thing. Like, if that's the game that you like and that's the game that you love, but you hear us being like, oh, we want story, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Like, you fucking do what you want as long as you're having a good time and as long as your players are having a good time.
Exactly.
Like, and you just seem to just be enjoying the fact that they're having a good time. And that is, if that makes you happy as a dungeon master,
exactly,
that's all that matters.
Like, this is just a perfect example of, like, it doesn't always have to be these fucking insane, serious moments. And, you run a very serious campaign.
Yeah.
And we take it very seriously. And there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. But, we obviously still have the hilarious moments. We fuck around loads, obviously.
Yeah.
But, there's the other side of it as well, where you can just fuck around and have fun.
Just make a tiefling, a pig, or whatever.
And the thing is, they're obviously still invested. They obviously care.
This is what matters to them.
Because this person went out of their way to do a drawing for weeks of this character.
Mm-hmm. Crispy bacon.
Crispy bacon.
Crispy bacon.
You know what I mean?
Like, and that's what matters. Like, as long as you're having fun, whatever you are doing to have it, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, we play Dungeons and Dragons to have fun.
Exactly.
And whichever form or whichever way that comes to you, That's what matters.
Totally. And you know what? Would I hate a completely like funny like chaos built campaign? Yeah, I'd hate it.
Yeah, same.
But that's why I don't play in games like that.
But that's fine because you find your enjoyment and your comfort from the games that we play.
Exactly. And that's fine.
That's fine.
Like I can't stress enough how all of it, every single different way people play D&D is fine.
It's fine.
Even the people who were like the 3.5 supremacists, even the people who, you know, think role play is boring and shit and only want combat.
Have six combat together.
That's fine.
That's fine. But the thing is, it's as long as you respect each other. Like, you just want to play role play and you don't care about combat. That's fine.
Yeah.
You want to have 6 combats a turn. That's fine. You want it to be chaos. That's fine. You want it to be serious. That's fine. It's like, as long as we don't judge each other the way each other play.
Exactly.
That's where it gets stinky.
That's the most important thing, definitely.
Yeah.
And it's okay to recognize that you don't like one or the other as well.
Yeah.
It's totally fine to recognize that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's totally fine to take something really seriously.
Yeah.
And it's totally fine to not.
As long as you enjoy it.
Yeah.
As long as you're enjoying it and you're getting out of it what you want. Like, if you aren't getting out of Dungeons and Dragons what makes you feel happy and you don't feel happy coming away from the game, it's probably because you're not playing it the way that you enjoy it.
Totally. And you know what, Craig? The fact that you even touched on it here, you were worried that they weren't enjoying it. They weren't invested in your story. You had a story to tell. When you let the reins go and you were just happy facilitating them having a good time, it sounds like you're all having an amazing time.
And as long as you're happy doing that, Greg,
exactly.
and as long as you're having a good time seeing them have a good time, then it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't need to be this epic Lord of the Rings thing. That's what I think people get in their heads that it has to be that. It doesn't. Yeah. It can be whatever it wants to be as long as everyone's having fun.
Exactly. Your table is so personal to yourself.
Yeah, 100%.
So as long as you're all having a fun time, which it sounds like you are, you should. Yeah. And this is advice to all DMs out there, right? As long as you're all having fun. Doesn't fucking matter. Doesn't matter if your law doesn't line up. Doesn't matter if you say something that contradicts yourself.
Doesn't matter if you forgot the NPC's name.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
No one cares.
Really,
it doesn't matter if you said one week it looks blue and now it looks red.
Exactly.
No one gives a fucking shit.
Doesn't matter.
As long as they're all having fun.
Don't let anyone tell you that it does either. Don't get in your head about it.
Don't get in your head about it.
Don't get in your head about it. That's rich coming from me.
Yeah, and like, you know, Craig said here, like, I had a plot. Yeah. But they're having more fun doing this. And
so there you go.
Good on you for not forcing them to do something that wouldn't make them have fun, because, like, obviously you're having fun because they're having fun and you've let it go, so they're doing what they want.
Yeah.
And now everyone's having fun. You found how you want to play by just looking and listening and analyzing, and you've done it.
Yeah.
You did it. That's the hardest part of Dungeons
and you
Dragons.
sound like a good friend, Craig, as well. You sound like a great friend
and
a great dungeon master. Yeah, you really do.
Yeah.
Well done. Well done, Craig.
Cool.
Oh, well done, Craig. Give him the giggle. Go on.
Little Gollum giggle for you there. Hit him with the Gollum giggle.
Ha 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 ha.
I chortle.
I chortle at you. That's it. That's your fill. That's your fill. Go away now.
Slightly shorter today. Go
Slightly
away
shorter
now.
today. I think.
But that's because, you know, you're gonna get your extra video about the lore of the last episode.
And
whatever.
Listen, I'm running on fumes.
We're
absolutely destroyed.
We're a little bit tired.
Yeah, I'm pooped.
But it was good fun.
It was good fun. It always is.
And we're gonna have a week off now. And then we're gonna see you next week.
Yeah.
Well, nothing's changed for you.
Yeah. You're the same.
You're the same. I'm not. I'll never be the same.
No, I'll never be the same
not after
again.
Not after Gollum's giggle.
Not after Gollum's giggle.
Not after Gollum's giggle.
I could never be the same after that.
I'll never be the same again.
So if you're in a watch party, I hope you've had a lovely time. Thank you so much. Get ready. We're about to crab rave. Yeah, you know what? We're getting regularly new people coming in, right?
Well, you know, there's nearly 900 people in the Discord.
Yeah, we regularly. Insane. We do watch parties every Monday and Thursday at 6 p.m. GMT when they go live. Me and Jack are always in them.
Yeah.
We end it on a crab rave.
On a bit of a crab rave while you leave and we can say goodbye to you.
So many people have been like, oh, we're actually doing the crab rave.
Yeah,
we do it.
We do it.
We do it.
Little bit of a shill. www.eldritchpodblast.co.uk. Oh, we're both rocking it. I didn't even realise.
Oh, look at that.
Logo t-shirt with the Squad Blasters on the back, or the logo t-shirt with no Squad Blasters on the back. the heavy metal print. Pick them up. It's a great way to support the podcast. We appreciate it very much. If you don't want to do that and you want to pick up something like a personalized dungeon journal, if you want to pick up something like a set of spell cards for your wizard, a t-shirt, some inspiration tokens, a mug for your dungeon master, go to Hellbound Dice, which is our Etsy shop, which is going to be in the link below.
We make everything with our own nasty little hands.
With these.
And we breathe all over them.
If you let us know you're a Squad Blaster, I'll write you a little note to say thank you very much for supporting the podcast. If you use code PODBLAST,
you get 10% off
you'll get
everything.
10% off everything that you order.
Everything.
So thank you very much for that. Hit the like button. Hit the bell to be notified when we upload a video on a Monday and a Thursday. Comment down below and let everyone know about your opinions on these horror stories, or your opinions and how brilliant these wholesome stories are.
And give us your best Gollum giggle.
Give us your best Gollum giggle. Let me know what I would like a description of what you think it sounds like.
What's a description of your physicality whilst you do it too?
Yes.
I must know.
Subscribe if you haven't. I know most of you have, but we thank you very much for every single person who's subscribed to the channel. We're nearly at 3,300 subscribers now, which is insane.
It is wild.
It's insane. We're getting lots of subscribers at the minute, and we love every single one of you. Thank you so much. I love you.
I love you.
Bully loves you. We've been the Eldritch Podblast. I'm going to see you on Thursday. Bye.